Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's U.S. End-of-Week Deep Dive, covering market moves in indexes, sectors, stocks, and global markets for the week ending Friday, March 21st, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Max Profit. Key indexes closed higher this week. The Dow 30 Index led the gains, rising 497.16 points to 41,985.36. The S&P 500 Index added 28.64 points to 5,667.57, while the Nasdaq Composite edged up to 17,784.5. All indexes show negative trends. Market breadth reveals significant weakness. The Nasdaq Composite showed particularly bearish sentiment, with 2,399 declining stocks versus just 787 advances. The Russell 2000 followed a similar pattern, with decliners outnumbering advancers by more than 3 to 1. Looking at month-to-date performance, all major indexes are down roughly 4–5%. The Nasdaq Composite shows the steepest decline at -5.6%, while the Dow 30 has fared slightly better, down 4.2%. Long-term returns show significant divergence. Over the past decade, the Nasdaq Composite leads with a 13.5% annual rate of return, while the Russell 2000 lags considerably at just 5% annually. The S&P 500 maintained a solid 10.4% annual return.
Checking out best and worst performing equities, I'm Penny Stock. Regencell Bioscience leads with a stunning 364.5% gain, closing at 58.63. 10 Holdings follows with a 201.7% increase. Servomed rose 121.8%, showing positive momentum. Looking at weekly returns, Regencell Bioscience posted exceptional gains with a 364.6% weekly return. 10 Holdings showed remarkable strength with a 201.8% weekly return. Year-to-date, Regencell leads with a 1,087% return. In annual performance, Regencell Bioscience shows impressive strength with a 1,427% one-year return. Servomed and Singularity Future Technology show negative long-term trends despite recent gains. Among large caps, Boeing leads with a 10% gain to 178.11. Southwest Airlines rose 9.7%, while Domino's Pizza added 8.4%. Strong positive trends are evident across these leaders. Weekly returns show Boeing leading with a 10.1% gain, followed by Southwest Airlines at 9.8%. Year-to-date, Mosaic shows strength with a 13.2% return. Long-term performance shows Domino's Pizza leading with a 341% 10-year return. Darden Restaurants follows with 234% over the same period. Boeing and Southwest show negative 3-year returns. In declining stocks, Aditxt plunged 99.2% to 9.63. Bond Natural Life dropped 88%, while LQR House fell 78.8%. Strong negative trends dominate these stocks. Weekly performance shows Aditxt with a 99.2% decline. Bond Natural Life lost 88.1%, while LQR House fell 78.8%. Year-to-date losses exceed 90% for most of these stocks. Leading the declines this week, Aditxt plunged 99.2% to 9.63, marking a new all-time low after dropping for 4 straight weeks. Bond Natural Life fell 88% to 0.17 amid strong downward volatility. LQR House dropped 78.8% to 0.40, breaking downward after a period of consolidation. Among large caps, Insight led the declines. falling 8.7% to 61.92 in its third consecutive down week. Nucor dropped 7.6% to 122.1, showing strong downward momentum. Micron Technology declined 6% to 94.72 amid a strong negative trend. Looking at monthly returns, Insight shows the steepest decline at -15.8%, while Gartner follows with -13.6%. Nucor has retreated 11.2% this month, though it maintains a positive year-to-date return of 4.5%. In longer-term performance, Nucor shows the largest one-year decline at -37.9%. Despite recent weakness, Gartner maintains strong 10-year returns at 17.9% annually. Micron Technology has delivered 12.7% annual returns over the past decade.
And now onto U.S. sector performance, where energy leads with a 3.1% gain to 702.72, showing a positive trend over two consecutive weekly gains. Financial services rose 1.8% to 820.53, while healthcare advanced 1% despite its negative trend. Consumer cyclical broke upward after 3 days of flat movement. Market breadth analysis reveals divergent patterns. Financial services shows strength with 434 advancing stocks over the month, while healthcare displays weakness with 807 declining stocks in the latest session. Consumer cyclicals decliners outnumber advancers by more than 4 to 1 today. Weekly returns highlight energy's outperformance with a 3.2% gain, while consumer cyclical lags with a slight decline. Year-to-date, energy leads with a 7.3% return, contrasting with consumer cyclicals' -13.9% performance. Long-term performance shows consumer cyclical with the highest 10-year ARR at 10%, followed by financial services at 9.4%. Healthcare has delivered a more modest 7% annual return over the decade, while energy trails with 2.2%.
Energy stocks showed notable strength this week. Hess and Chevron both displayed strong upward trends with significant volatility. Marathon Petroleum led gains with a 6.2% rise to 149.96. APA showed sideways movement despite being in a strong downward trend. Looking at returns, Hess stands out with impressive gains across all timeframes, including a 17.7% year-to-date return. Chevron follows with a 13.7% year-to-date gain. In contrast, APA has struggled, down 10.7% year-to-date. Long-term performance shows Marathon Petroleum leading with a 193% 10-year total return, followed by Hess at 129%. APA has significantly underperformed, down 65% over the same period. Chevron has delivered a more modest 54% gain.
The worst-performing sectors show various signs of weakness. Basic materials leads the decline with a very strong negative trend in downward volatility. Both communication services and technology have closed down 5 consecutive weeks. Market breadth shows significant weakness. Technology had 570 declining stocks versus 124 advances. Basic materials and consumer defensive both showed roughly 3 declines for every advance. Month-to-date returns highlight the sector's struggles. Consumer defensive has fallen 5.9%, while communication services and technology are both down about 5.5%. Looking at longer-term performance, technology shows the highest 10-year ARR at 19.4%, despite recent weakness. Basic materials has struggled, posting a negative 7.1% return over the past year.
Consumer defensive stocks show broad weakness. Sysco leads the decline, dropping 2.9% to 71.11 with a very strong negative trend. Kraft Heinz and Archer Daniels Midland both show similar downward pressure, each falling over 2% with strong negative trends. Short-term performance metrics highlight weakness across the sector. Sysco shows the steepest month-to-date decline at -5.9%. Altria stands out as the only stock showing positive year-to-date returns at 10.2%, while Constellation Brands has the largest year-to-date decline at -19.7%. Long-term returns reveal mixed performance. Altria shows strength with a 28% one-year return. Archer Daniels Midland and Constellation Brands have struggled, both down over 26% in the past year. Sysco maintains the best 10-year return at 84%.
Thanks for watching. I'm Max Profit, along with my AI co-host Penny Stock. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency, and commodities. Thanks for watching.